How you doing, man? Malcolm, the RoseAboveIt Podcast. Thanks for having me. Make sure you guys tune in.
Alright, are we rolling? Alright, very good. So we're gonna start this podcast off breaking to Shaq's wife that he lost the ring. That's how we starting this off. We ain't even doing the intro first. We starting this off just like this. We not getting to I guess this ain't.
Hold on. Can I say something?
That you lost this ring.
Can I say something? Yo, I love my wife.
Yo, bro, how you lose? You haven't been married a solid week and you lost your wedding ring.
Yo.
See, I'm telling you, your head is gonna be where your honeymoon was.
Yo, listen. Everyone and their mom and grandmother know that I love my wife. You know what I'm saying?
Of course you do.
You know, material. You know.
You just didn't love the ring.
That's gonna be what you gonna say. That's how you gonna start out, right?
I'm like, yo, baby.
You know I love you, right?
It's just material, man.
It's just material.
Shaq sleeping in the front yard tonight. He not even getting the couch. How dare you? How do you? And how
I didn't lose it on purpose.
Yo, how you lose it
on purpose? Like I threw it in the pond.
When she get mad, that's what he gonna say.
Yo, because my thing is how you lose it and not even know.
Thanks to damn dens.
But you don't even got. He don't even got an idea. He don't even got an idea of how you lost it. Yo, how'd you lose it, Shaq?
All right, so I don't know, maybe because I did a lot of traveling today.
I don't know. Like, how your ring fall off just from being on the train?
I fall asleep on the train sometimes.
Somebody stole your ring.
Yo, you trying to say somebody jacked you?
Is that the excuse you
But I
got?
was on the Metro North. I fell asleep a little.
Oh, you trying to the Metro North is a little. You definitely ain't get jacked.
You on the softest train in New York? You talking about you got robbed on the softest train?
Listen.
Metro North?
Listen. I think it just fell off. I did a lot.
And you ain't
hear
it, like.
Yo, Malk, you engaged, bro. I hope you got better. Excuse than that.
That ring is gonna be tight on that finger. I'm not losing nothing.
All right. It's my fault. You know what I'm saying? It's my fault. I'm looking at that camera.
It ain't her fault. You can't blame her.
But let's talk about Suave. She have about to go to Jersey.
Oh, you trying to
split the script on me.
First of all, Suave, he's saying how. Shaq said last week that you're gonna leave the podcast.
I did not say that.
Wow.
Shaq said that.
Shaq said that.
First of all.
And they saying how you about to move and go on vacation at the same time. When they do that?
Well, that's a fact, but I'm definitely not leaving the podcast. I'm still coming down here every Wednesday.
Exactly.
You sure?
Or at least the last Wednesday for a fact.
Yo, that was you, Shaq. That wasn't me.
So I don't know what Shaq is talking about.
Wow.
But I am moving.
It's Shaq's fault.
I am moving and I'm going on vacation at the same time.
It's a bad day for Shaq. Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of RoseAboveIt Podcast. I'm T Rose.
I'm Suave.
It's your boy, Love.
It's your boy, Ring Loser.
You gotta just take the out. Just take the out.
And we got a special guest with us. We got my boy Malcolm right here, Mr. Wrighteous.
What's going on?
What's up?
Yo, Malk is one of the assistant coaches for Yonkers Force, which is the new. Oh no, it's like saying on the new. It's for the football team. The new. What is it?
Merge.
New merge for the football teams is so there's 2 football teams in Yonkers now, opposed to 7 or 8.
8, opposed to 8. Yeah. Yonkers moved to 8 high schools about I want to say maybe 6-7 years ago, and they were struggling with fielding football teams. I know last year alone we had 2 forfeits back to back because they didn't have enough numbers for teams because football has been down in the city of Yonkers. So the superintendent, shout out to superintendent, Dr. Casada, took it on him to form 2 football programs in Yonkers, varsity and JV, because as we know, Yonkers been missing JV for about a decade
since
now.
we was in high school.
Correct. So varsity and JV, and put us back on the map for a positive reason, like football.
Yo,
that's what's up.
It's crazy how, first of all, if you listen to this and you're not from Yonkers is a nice sized city, but it's not like New York City. The fact that we got 8 high schools,
insane.
It's crazy.
Insane.
It's ridiculous. So it's like a lot of these high schools have like what 300.
About
maybe some of them is like 300 kids.
But it's sick to the point where like you can walk 2 blocks and be at a different high school.
Right.
So like, there's not really a necessity for it because it's my high school here,
Right.
and we gonna go to the store, and then my high school is another high school.
Yeah, high school. Now, some of my high school got elementary. You got from elementary to high school.
Some is K through 12, which is another
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's definitely a situation where.
How was it coaching these kids who are coming from new schools? Like you got kids that's from
absolutely
Lincoln, right? Lincoln.
We have outside the Yonkers Force.
One team, right?
Yeah, we have Gordon High School, Roosevelt High School, Yonkers Montessori Academy, which used to be Mark Twain for you guys.
Which was a middle school, by the way.
Mark Twain, yeah.
And then Yonkers High. So that's for the other side of the Yonkers Brave. They have Saunders, Lincoln, Riverside, which was the old museum for the older Yonkers people, and who am I missing?
Palisade Prep.
Yeah, which used to be my middle school, so that blows my mind as well. So
I'm sorry, I'm confused.
I went to Commerce,
I'm a little confused. Wait, I don't know shit about football.
Yeah,
so let me start
problem.
off. I'm a basketball girl. But anyways,
that's what does it mean? About
what does it mean? Like, what do you mean? Like, so I went to Saunders.
Correct.
So you trying to say the Saunders football team does not exist?
There's no more Saunders football.
So Saunders link. Y'all got fights. Y'all have to have mad fights.
So here's the thing, right? A lot of people.
Back in the day, we used to bang
rivalry, right? No, it was
now
amazing.
That's crazy.
So I've been talking to a lot of people when the news came out.
Yeah.
A lot of people were thinking like that. Like, that's not right. You don't have your own.
Right.
But now, on a bigger scale, especially it's literally like down south football now. So
that's
where our vision is to shut the city down, especially when we play each other.
Yeah.
And just have 2 schools or 2 teams. So now half the city's going for this and half the city's going for that. So you thought your Lincoln clique was going to get the Saunders.
That's
now
what's
imagine,
up, though.
3 other schools behind that, or 4 other schools behind that, and now it's a real big rivalry. And then again, on the flip side, like a lot of that clique stuff wasn't always positive.
It wasn't.
A lot of people from Lincoln have beef with people from Saunders. And now it's like, kids from Gorton have friends that go to Yonkers High and that go to Wyoming. And now it's like, it's no longer problems. Now you can walk from the north side to the south side to meet your football friend. So on a bigger scale, the business is tremendous. It's tremendous.
Wow.
Absolutely.
So how the kids going into this right now?
The kids are definitely buying in. At first, it was the typical struggles of just the unknown.
It's different.
The kids didn't know who the coaches were. The kids didn't know if we knew football. The kids didn't know if they would play or if they would start or if they would get along. And the coaching staff we have, Dan DiMatteo, one of my best friends, mentor of mine, is the head coach. My big brother, I call him Keyshawn Bediako, another guy, Spike. We've been together for 4 years, so we knew each other, and we sat down weeks on weeks before, just writing down every problem we think we would face as coaches. And I think that helped us tremendously, because every question we wrote down is every situation we faced. So bringing the kids in, our biggest thing was just get to know them first, before we could coach them, before we could tell them what to do, because as we know, we're in a generation now where kids don't really, like, I tell you, do something, you're going to do it. That generation is gone. There's no more grandma coming downstairs to yell at me, and I'm going upstairs. So now we're in a new era to where children are adults. So we try to get to the root of that, or figure out, the kids' background, who they live with, where's their parents, who's grandparents, see if we know any family, because everybody in Yonkers related, everybody cousins. So see if we know any family, just connect with them. What's their 5-year plan? Some of them didn't even know what a 5-year plan was, so create a 5-year plan. What's their high school plan? What's their college plan? And just getting them on a personal level to allow us to earn that respect for them, and now we can coach the kid. Because before anything else, if a kid doesn't, and that's anything in life, if they don't trust you, and if they don't think you care about them, they won't do anything. So that was the baseline for us in the beginning. Just establish trust and a foundation with the kids, and then work up for there.
Let me ask you a question. Considering that, like a lot of people, a lot of parents are concerned with like football safety, and all that. Like basically, they're real cautious of getting their son into like football. You know what I'm saying? Considering that concussions or like. The major, the hot topic right now. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So how do you take on that topic with parents?
Safety.
Yeah, absolutely. And the biggest thing, which is a blessing for us, the more people talk about it, the more companies like Wydell and Nike and Reebok come out with equipment to prevent it. You know, so that's a biggest thing for us is we lean a lot on research and articles and equipment that is out to counter or talk with any parent who has a problem with concussion. And also, we play high school football. A lot of those problems occur, you know, college and the pro level where there's a 350-pound man who's solid muscle coming and just right into your head to a slot who's not that big. Everybody in high school, give or take, the same shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna, you do run into some of those freaks and that's like, whoa, that kid is crazy. But again, we have equipment for it. We teach the correct way. We never hit with the head. We always hit with our shoulder. And then again, we also reiterate to the parents that some injuries are unpreventable. Like if a kid rolls his ankle and fractured his finger or gets a sting in his shoulder, that's it comes with the territory, you know. But we will do everything in our power to ensure that your kid will be 100% safe as far as equipment-wise and tackling-wise and technique-wise when they're playing the game.
And I have one question about. So does the high school? So I lived in Barbados for 5 years after I graduated. So I still am a little lost with what's going on when I came back to Yonkers. I was just like, well, it's different.
Right.
But so wait, so the high schools do they fund you to help pay for equipment and stuff like that?
Right, well, that's all coming from the city, which a budget get approved from the state. So that's all money that
So the high school's not...
Correct. So it's not like
weird to me. Oh my God, I had no idea.
For everything, no, it's all through the city and then the city gets money from the state. So that's all how funding trickles down.
Y'all also do fundraisers too.
Correct, and that's a big thing for us is fundraising. Especially now. Well, what they did with the team was Yonkers Force, and this is also amazing. It was like mind blowing to me, and I love it. The Yonkers Force represents the police officers of Yonkers, and the Yonkers Braves, the firefighters, the city of Yonkers. And every Friday night, the police officers started a tradition of coming and feeding the kids. But not only coming and feeding the kids, but also speaking with the kids. And speaking like real situations. Like one of the cops had a group of kids last Friday and was talking to them about what to say and how to act because he went to Gorton. So he's a Gorton graduate. So he was speaking from being where we're from and dealing with a cop. You know, because cops are human beings too. So they understand if you just got into a fight and frustrated. Listen, I've been there, because he was like, I've been there. I spoke with a cop. In high school, I wasn't Dean's List, so he's not. So he understood, and just hearing that conversation from a cop to our kids and seeing the kids how
it creates that, that
it was
relationship.
Amazing. It was amazing. So doing that is we're breaking so many different boundaries and the potential through the roof. It's literally
that's so amazing.
I hadn't read that. That's what's crazy.
Right.
So, but football is a very disciplinary sport, especially like coaching football. You have to be on.
You have no idea.
So how? And I know, especially these kids. Imagine. These kids now are definitely. These kids now are definitely different. Like it's a fine line between disciplining them and losing them.
Yes, very fine.
So how do you manage that fine line?
I'm emotional. I'm an emotional being. When I'm locked in, I'm locked in. I really get it going. Pray, number one. But the biggest thing I learned this year was I have to be who I am. You know, and all the coaches, we have to be who we are, because we all get after it. And at first, we were kind of trying to tiptoe and be nice, and the kids felt that. It was crazy because kids would come up to us and be like, Coach, I feel like you're not really coaching us today. I feel like you're not really giving us everything. Like, because I coached Gorton before the merge, so they were like, Coach, do what you used to do on the side. Because I didn't even know this, but they would see me on the sideline from their team and be like, that coach is crazy. He's yelling, screaming. And so the kids telling me that got me to self-reflect, and I was like, you know what? I have to be me. Yeah. So I came out of my shell probably game week after practice with them all summer, just like, listen, I brought them in to me, and I was like, kids, listen, there's nothing personal. I love every one of you, but I have to unleash who I am so we can get better. So it was just, again, once I created that foundation with them, I spoke to them to let them know that probably some of them have never been coached the way we coached, and it's nothing personal. but this is how we coach. And then if you want to have a conversation after practice, let's do that. And now we can talk, you know.
Yeah. Now you can make it better.
Man to man. And now we can, because now I'm not in the coaching element. Now I'm just somebody, a mentor, hopefully, or somebody you look up to. So I just have to be me and just tell them to understand that when I'm coaching, I'm on. And when we're off the field, now we can talk about the coaching aspect. And now open up that avenue, and that helped a lot.
So what have you done, like, have you ever had a kid that took a knee or something like that?
You know what? No. And we spoke about it as a team.
Okay.
First we spoke about it as a staff. Because our staff is diverse. Right. Yeah. There's 2 Italians. Me and Keyshawn were black. And when it first happened, I was the only black coach on staff. So when it first happened, it was like weird. Because D looked at me and he was like, what do you want to do? And I was like, listen, here's how we're going to handle it. First of all, if a kid wants to take a knee, we want to speak with them first. Yeah. So we want to see if they really understand why what's happening. Because a lot is, we know what this generation is, everything's trendy. It's a fad. It's a fad. They see Colin Kapernick doing it like, oh, he does it on TV, it's kind of cool. Then they're going to do it. And so we were like, okay, let's do that. But we never had a kid come and speak to us. But we also addressed the team like, hey, listen, this is why Cap is doing this. Like, this is why it's happening. This is what it means. As a team, as a coaching staff, we had agreed that we're not going to do that. Okay. So we don't want to do that, not because we agree or we disagree, just because we just want to be uniform in our approach. And our approach is we don't want to do it. Now, if you want to talk about it, we are here, and we open up the doors for about an hour, had about 7 to 10 kids come in, and just spoke about the whole thing, the whole situation, their viewpoints, our viewpoints, and just educating them.
And I can respect that.
And just educating them on what it was.
I couldn't think of handling that a better way.
Yeah, and now, that was the only way to do it. And again, we don't want to be that trendy high school kid team that can take a knee now. It's publicity. And, we never wanted that. We wanted everything to be always positive, especially with a newly formed merged team. We already have the issues we had. People predicted us to not even win a game or not even do nothing. I seen that. Yeah, it was.
And so, who do you play? So the Braves and what was the other name?
Force.
And the Force. So you guys just play each other? Do you play other?
They still play like New Rochelle.
Yeah, so our schedule, week 1 we lost to Austin 2014, which was a emotional day for me because put the ring on there. So we'll talk about that. But week 2 we won 7-0 to Port Chester. That was a battle. Okay. Week 3 we won 33-16 against White Plains. Oh, that's what's up. And then this past Saturday we just lost to the powerhouse of Section 1, New Rochelle. Okay. 42-20. So, and they're a really, really good team. But the kids fought. Yeah. They fought hard. This Saturday we have Beacon coming up 1:30.
Is that a home game?
That's a home game. Gordon High School.
And home with Gordon. Okay. Yeah. Is that where you always play?
That's where we're playing this year because Roosevelt is actually getting turfed.
Oh, wow.
So they're going to turf Roosevelt because Saunders has turf. Now we're having turf, and it'll be equal. So that's really exciting for the kids. The kids are really excited for that. Hopefully we can get it.
You think they're going to do anything to Gordon? Because ever since we was in high school, they're saying they're going to turf it.
I don't think so. I know they just did a whole bunch of renovations within the school, so I don't see them doing that. And now doing knocking the school down. They actually, believe it or not, they put windows in the classrooms in the basement. What? Yeah, that's crazy, right? So I
went to Saunders, so I can't understand. But I think I've heard someone say that.
It's like,
you're looking at dirt.
It's crazy. I didn't even know it was possible.
Have you ever seen went downstairs in the basement? That's how our high school used to look, like the basement.
So I don't know how they did it, but there's literally when you're walking down the stairs, the walls are extremely high. So I guess the window would be at the top of the wall. They still have them boarded now. You can't really see what's going on, but they also put central air in those classrooms as well. So
wow.
It's a different.
They live in their best life.
It's a different going.
Central air. When I was in high school,
I heard there was no such thing. The basement classrooms are terrible. But I went to Saunders, so I don't know.
There was no such thing as central air in my school. If it was hot outside, you was just hot.
Yeah,
straight hot. That's it.
I'm pretty sure I didn't know what central air was because of Gordon.
Central air at all. We didn't have regular AC, no nothing. You hot, you better just come in shorts and just sweat it out.
Yeah.
You didn't have them problems on
the towel, wipe your face off.
With the NFL, where everything is going on, have you watched that NFL game? Are you still tuned into the season?
during high school when I'm in season, I don't get to watch anything.
Yeah.
Not because I'm boycotting, but I'm so locked in, and I want to be the best at what I do. That literally on Sundays, Mario and I are on the phone at like 9 a.m.
Okay.
And we're like, hey, what are we doing today? And then we break it down, and then we get ready for the next week. So, like I said, I'm not bored, but I just haven't had time because I'm trying to be the best.
Gotcha.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I ask a question? Females who want to play football, how does that work?
You know what? The
Does
Mario
that
actually
work?
had
I never-
a female that made it to the season. Yeah.
So you're not, you can't discriminate.
No, not at all. I mean, if
I don't know. I know nothing
There's
about
also a
football.
female on the Ossining
Really?
high school team, yeah, and also Harrison. We figured out this summer because we scrimmaged against them.
And they get treated the same way, right?
Absolutely.
I was about to say,
You can't-
crazy.
how does that work? So say if the Austin varsity football team had a starting QB that was a girl, and she was slinging it, but your linebacker was like 180 muscle. You want him to hit her the same way he hit any other like
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, the football player him want to say yeah, but I can see he kind of like
Give him the thumbs up on the sideline. Like, yeah,
It's one of those things. Like a football player is a football player. There's no gender. When you put a helmet shoulder on your football player.
Yeah.
Just like one of those things, like injury. If you're on the court, you're good.
Yeah.
You got to go 100%. So I can't tell them like.
It's just crazy because, I feel like that would be the only sport where the genders are intertwined. Like with basketball, women play with women, men play with men.
Yeah.
I mean, unless, obviously, if we all go to New York Sports Club right now, we all balling.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like professionally or on a high school team. It's always split up. Yeah. So with football, it's like the only sport where there's not that there's never, but there's rarely any girls football team.
It's crazy because it's
probably
not enough.
enough.
It's the roughest sport too. So that's why it's like
But so what? It should be accessible.
No, I mean,
so
they
I just feel
play.
like I always wanted to know, ask someone, like, how does that work?
No, absolutely. We encourage everybody to come out. You want to come
That's
out?
what's
Come out. But it's again, we let them know it's physically demanding. It's mentally frustrating. It's everything. It's tough all around.
Yeah.
There's not one aspect where
it is. That's why I can't watch it. I try, but it's just too much.
Yeah, it's physical.
The flags are flying. I'm like, wait, what's going on?
No, it's nuts.
It's a crazy game.
If there was more girls playing high school football when I was in high school, I would have played. I know I could run somebody over.
I know you. You never know. Girl, knock you the hell out. You never know.
It's
you
funny
don't know that?
you say that because again we scrimmaged Harrison this summer, and we were gonna play, and one of the girls ended up making a tackle on one of our players.
Knock you the hell out.
Boom,
And that's good.
Shout him out, Malcolm. What's the player?
I can't.
What's his name?
I can't do that.
What's his name?
Don't do that to him.
If it's my cousin Alicia, Papa, I got jokes for you.
Oh man, I'm not saying no.
Let me. Hey, Pants. Let me find out, Pants. You getting laid out?
Got ran over.
No, but what you guys are doing? Let me tell you how I know it's working, man. All seriousness, my cousin plays for the team, and I think the first time he played was he in ninth grade when he first played,
yes, sir.
And he quit in the middle of 10th grade year.
Yep.
My cousin quit. And he came to me. I'm like, yo, why you quit, man? He's like, yo, man, they playing somebody over me. They playing a freshman over me. I'm like, yo, is he better than you? Nah, he ain't better than me. So I know my cousin the way he is. He's very high-headed, and he's always been very angry since I ever known my cousin. Always little kid, just always angry. So one day I'm like, I see Malcolm. I'm like, yo, my cousin quit, bro. He's like, yeah, man. So Malcolm talks to me. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get him back, man. If I get him to come back and talk to him and apologize, would you possibly get him back on? He's like, yo, I'll talk to him. Yo, my cousin today, and I'll tell you this, and I love him. I would have never thought that he'd come to me like talking about colleges, like, yo, I'm trying to go to this college and play. I'm trying to go to this college and play, and I'm like, yo, I honestly think football saved my cousin's life.
Wow.
And I'm gonna tell you, your guidance saved my cousin's life.
That's amazing.
Wow. That's what's up, yo.
No, he's a great kid, and that season he quit is the off season is when I know I had him because he figured out that like football was a part of who he was. It had, like you said, it helped shape his character. But me and him built a relationship to where he was like, Coach, I'm not gonna lie. I don't even like people. Like I guess he was just frustrated with life at that time. And sometimes
he was going through a lot.
As a teenager, like they go through stuff. So he was. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to be around. And if somebody took my spot, and I was like, Alicio, let's stop. Let's take a breath. Listen, this thing called life. It's what we're in right now, right? And I hate to tell you this, but that ain't the last time somebody's gonna take your spot. So my thing to him was, what are you gonna do about it? And now we talking bigger than football, right? Now we talking classroom. Now we talking your parents. Now we talking home. Like, what are you gonna do? Who is Alicio without football? You know, because that teaches you everything that you want to be in life. So that he figured out. He came to me. He wrote like a paper. This kid, he's great. I love Pants. I gave him a nickname. He was like, Coach, listen. I now know who I am. I know I don't like people that much. I know I want to go to school and play football. I know football creates me to speak to people. It gives me friends, and this is what I want to do, and I'm going to do everything in my power to play. And then this kid has had a tremendous offseason. He also got hurt in the preseason, came back for that, and is now being a player for us, man. The kid is, he has a story to tell already as a high school season.
What's up,
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, I think it's.
But if not for, sorry, Trip, my head. I just got a thought. Like, if not for this kind of coaching and that kind of environment, most people would have quit and probably just never came back.
Absolutely.
Like, what's the point of coming back? I could have,
And this is the thing.
Just dropped it.
And it's the thing that a lot of coaches forget. Like a lot of, I know coaches that are just coaches that like they like the extra check that they get. Like, I'll get an extra check.
Exactly. That's what I think about.
I've had those type of coaches.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I've had those type of coaches where it's like, I'm doing this just to get checked in. But you got the point of being a coach is to inspire the youth to do more than what it's not just about the sport.
No,
it's about
it's
shaping you for life. That's why I always say
and that's
sports
what really
is
sport is.
What's so funny is we have a saying on the staff is the last thing we do is coach. It's like the last thing our
Don't let that go over your head.
The last thing we do is coach. There are kids still to this day that we're speaking on just building character, just how to carry yourself, just also dealing with issues. Like I said, this generation is so much different when we grew up because, especially in the inner city, we just had to take stuff on the back and just whatever it is, get out of our head. But these kids now don't know how to deal with certain issues, especially big issues, especially home issues. Because now the foundation at home isn't what it used to be back in the day, and it's shifting every day. So our main conversations with our players are about life. Like, it's never about,
Especially
of course.
With football.
Oh my God.
Football is such a tough,
it's so connected.
Angry sport. Like, I don't want to say it's angry, but it is angry. Like, you gotta have physical, it's violent, it's everything. You gotta be
crazy. You gotta be crazy to play. You gotta be even crazy to coach. Because coaching is a whole nother beast in itself.
Gotta come.
I can see, because I always said I want to coach basketball one day. So I'm like, I can just imagine football, and like most kids that play football have anger built up.
That's what I'm saying. So you're already getting kids with that already.
Correct.
You're already getting a selection of kids with that's how they are.
Absolutely.
And now you got to train them to have it on the field and not in their
turn it off.
Turn it off. Right? Exactly.
Not to mention you have to have the biggest ego on the team as the coach.
It's
oh my God.
It's insane. Like, me, I'm very high energy. Like, I'm all over the place. And the biggest thing is, like, having a switch there, and then also, because each player is different, right? So I have a kid who is very tough, doesn't speak much, but will go out there and just lay somebody out if I say the right thing. But if I speak to him, if I yell at this kid, it's all. He's in the tank. Like, I could never get him back until like an hour later. So figuring that out was different. And then there's a kid who literally only responds if I yell at him. Like, I just get nicely 10 times. Listen, I need you to come up and I need you to hit somebody. Hey, yo, kid, come up and hit somebody. What? Like, when I rip him, he's like, oh, coach, you want me to come up and hit somebody? It took a laugh. It was like, actually, nice.
That's what a coach is.
So it's so many different personalities.
Because you got to know how to connect with each one.
it blows my mind.
Yeah.
It blows my mind sometimes, and I'm like,
It
wow.
blows my mind thinking about how you do that.
It's great. It's so physically and mentally exhausting that like Saturday evenings, my fiance now knows that like, we don't do no.
Congrats.
Congrats. We clap for that. Shaq is really trying to just, he's really trying to just shine on the positive notes because Shaq lost his ring.
I'm just congratulating, someone that's about to be on my ship. But not except losing the ring club because,
I got duct tape that thing.
Shaq trying to make up.
Shaq trying to make up. But anyway.
Shaq trying to get me trouble for
you in the doghouse. You in the doghouse. His birthday this weekend. Shaq ain't going nowhere. She gonna be like, Shaq, you in the house. You can't find your ring.
She literally just canceled all of it.
Yeah, look at him because he knows it's a fact.
Yo, listen, I'm enjoying my birthday to the fullest.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
I heard it.
You know,
until you tell her about the ring.
Yeah. And then we hear Saturday, guys. So about going out, like
tell you, Shaq ain't
need
going
to
out.
reschedule.
Swab, what's going on in the gallery for?
We just keeping it real simple today. 13 Riverdale Avenue, Yonkers, New York is where the Blue Door Gallery is located. Y'all gotta come through and see Barbara Delaney. Again, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Forgive me if not.
It might be Delaney.
Pardon?
It might be Barbara Delaney.
Delaney.
You might be
well,
right.
I think I'm pronouncing it properly. If not, forgive me. It's the exhibit is called Sculptural Journeys. Again, if you do come in, please be careful. This artwork is very fragile and it is very expensive. So you have to be very careful when coming in. But please come in and take a look. It's some real exotic pieces in here that you probably won't see anywhere else. It ends. Pardon?
Just don't touch.
I was like, just don't touch.
Yeah, just don't touch. But
unless you got Shaq money,
right.
Buy me a ring.
It's ending October 20th, so please come through before then and check it out. The gallery's open Thursday and Fridays 3 to 6 and Saturdays 1 to 5. You can catch Philly here on Saturdays. She is in Belize right now, but she's coming back Saturday. Shout out to her. She is here on Saturdays, and they're all pretty great with. They have a lot of stuff here selling T-shirts, jewelry, artwork, everything could get in here. So shout outs to Julie.
Shout out Julie. Shout out to Blue Door.
Shout out to Blue Door for always giving us the space. Shout out to Damn Dens and PJ on the cameras.
PJ the Prodigy. Yo,
it's looking amazing. So
yes, October 25th, y'all. We are doing a live podcast at Messiah Baptist Church. That's
awesome.
Wednesday.
Please
Wednesday
come
the
out.
25th,
It's gonna be a really nice panel. Of course we're in a different environment, so no the cursing is going to be at a
minimum, but we still going to talk about real life.
But we're going to still
things.
keep it. I want to just say that so that people, some people, I don't know if it's religious or not, but it's still it'll be a really good panel discussion, regardless of
awesome.
We're just going to keep respectful of the environment we're in, but it's going to be a really good panel. So if you can come out October 25th.
October
25th at Messiah Baptist Church. So please come out.
We always end the podcast like this. What's the toughest thing you rose above?
Wow. I knew that was coming. I listen to it all the time. When I hear that question, I'm like, this week I'm feeling like this. When you're in the moment, it's different. I would have to say self-sabotage. As I got older, especially being in Yonkers, you see so many of your close friends take like the easy way out or like ruin opportunities for themselves. And that's easy. I also went through a season, in my relationship where I was like, maybe I should look for a way out, or maybe even with a job, maybe I shouldn't take the job because I'm comfortable here, and did some opportunities, self-sabotage myself into not taking that leap of faith or elevating myself to the next status because I was afraid of what I was going to lose instead of looking at what I was going to gain. So 100% self-sabotage. I would just say believe in yourself, trust in your vision, whatever it is, and whoever's meant to be will stay. Whoever's not, you lose it and hopefully elevate them at a later date.
Yo, Wow,
That's
self-sabotage.
Yeah.
That's the name of this episode right there.
Yeah, you got to.
Self-sabotage.
Yeah.
That's it. Yo, y'all, that's another episode of Rose Above It.
Wait. Before we go, can we please, what if kids want to know,
yes, where's the game schedule?
How do they find out?
What's your social media?
Yes, please.
Or if the kids that are in high school doesn't know about it, and now hearing this, they want to.
Please follow the Yonkers Force on Instagram and Twitter. We always posting stuff about, especially in the off season, about different clinics we're running, different youth clinics, high school clinics for anybody that's interested in football. Right now, if you're in 9th or 10th grade and you want to play, please get in contact with your nurse or any administrator in your building. They can definitely help you out with that. Okay. And like I said, once December hits, we really start picking it up on the off season. Anybody interested? So please follow the pages. We'll put up information, and please come out and play.
Yeah.
Come play.
That's what's up.
Come play, y'all. Shaq, find your ring, and we out.
We out this.